It's Sunday. I don't normally do a podcast at this point on Sunday, but I guess we're at war. I don't know. I'm not sure. There was another police action, at minimum, by the President of the United States. Very sad that we couldn't resolve this through diplomacy. I consider that a failure on our government's behalf, a failure by President Trump, and a failure by Iran's government as well. Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, these are two people that I respect. Candace Owens. I'm not sure about Candace Owens now that I look back on it. I know that she wants Israel to stop bombing Gaza, but I'm not sure what her opinion is on Iran. I haven't followed her very much in recent months. The inability for us as a species to get things done through diplomacy is downright a shame. It is downright awful. And it is a shortcoming that we cannot seem to overcome. I gotta have more coffee. Sunday at 5:22 in the morning. It's very sad. The people who are anti-war, the anti-war people, I certainly hope that we're all anti-war. However, there are certain people who want zero aggression, zero war at any cost. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of the people who believe that every aggressive country can only be dealt with through diplomacy. Also, I also believe we cannot let a country with the intent that Iran has to gain access to nuclear weapons. America does a lot of things that aren't right. I'm not saying that we're a perfect country. We are, without a doubt, human as the rest of the world and as imperfect as the rest of the species. However, the driving force behind Iran's government is, from what I can tell, is death to Israel and death to America. The little Satan and the great Satan, in their words. And I've got way too many people in America that I love to support that. I've got a great love for the country. So, yeah, any country who seems to be intent on the destruction of other countries, well, that's a problem. Dave Smith seems to think that we have, what are the words here? A false narrative about about Iran, that they don't have access to nuclear weapons, that they aren't building toward that goal. I don't know. I know that Tulsi Gabbard has come out in support of this bombing of these 3 targets that are supposedly the nuclear program bases in Iran. So, Tulsi Gabbard, someone who I respect and trust as well, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt at this point. At this point. Going forward from here, I certainly hope that we find a way through diplomacy to peace. America's never really had a war come to our shores. The oceans have always been a great barrier for that. However, I don't know that we're safe anymore. We had 10 million, you can argue the numbers, around 10 million illegal crossings into America on the southern border. Those were not all Hispanic people. Those were not all Mexicans or Venezuelans or South America or Mexico. It's a scary time. That's a very difficult thing to accept, that we now have what could possibly be sleeper cells within our borders. That squarely falls on the shoulders of the Biden people. I don't think Biden was cognitive enough to make those decisions. I have to qualify that every time. The people that were actually controlling what was going on within the Biden administration. This is on you. If something happens in America, this is on you. You did this. If there's a sleeper cell that came across that southern border, that's on you. And it can't, obviously Trump is the one that attacked Iran. But you can't put the sleeper cells on Trump. He locked the border down. He did that. He did what he said he was going to do. That border's been locked down. So you're culpable 100% on this. Look, I just want peace. I just want the world to have peace and to be able to live in peace, no matter what your religion, no matter what your politics. This past election, we had a peaceful revolution. Now, whether you're on the winning side or the losing side of the revolution, doesn't matter. Right now, this is what we're looking at. And the reality of the situation is, Iran was bombed by American soldiers. And we are, sorry, I got distracted by a cat acting weird. And we are, I believe that we're closer to a world war than we ever have been since World War II. And that's a scary situation. It's a situation that I didn't think that I would have to face again in my life. I went into the military in 1983. I went into the Navy. And at that point, we were at the height of the war, the Cold War. And at that point, I thought quite possibly we would be going to war and there would be another world war because of the high tensions of Russia and America. I think we're closer now than the government wants to admit. I think we're closer now than the media is giving us, is talking about. Legacy media. I think we have to be careful at this point. I think we need to really get diplomatic here. I think we need to talk with, most importantly, the Russians and the Chinese. And we need to come to some kind of understanding about Ukraine, the Middle East, the world resources, the monetary funds around the world, the monetary systems around the world. There has to be a better way than the aggression that we're facing, the complete decimation of the humans species, the complete decimation of the human race. That's what we're looking at. I'm not trying to be dramatic or scary or look at what's happening. We're funneling all our resources toward what seems to be a end goal of war. And we have to find a way to stop it. Please. I don't have long for this world. I have a lot of years behind me and a few years ahead of me. But I can tell you this, I've never seen such contention amongst the citizens of America with each other. I've never seen such high aggression with countries, the undertone of which is always we're at odds with each other. Always. Recently on a podcast, that Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, I think it was supposed to be an interview. It seemed more like a yelling match, a debate, not a debate like the Soho forums, but just a screaming debate. And at one point, it was talked about the spying that's going on. And I was astonished. I think I knew this, but I was astonished to learn that Israel was spying on us. We were spying on Israel. All of our allies were spying on us. We were spying on all of our allies. The hell? What are we spying on each other for? It's a worrisome time. It is interesting times. I am saying daily prayers now for peace. I know my wife is as well. I hope that you are too. The idiom of walk softly but carry a big stick. Well, Saturday that big stick got used. I hope that our government used it justly. We have people in the government that I have to take their word of. I'm not going to be the person that, I'm not going to be like Dave Smith or Tucker Carlson. I don't know. I don't know. I do know that it is interesting times, and I do hope that we can get through this as a race, as the human race. And I hope that we find our way to peace. I still consider this early times in this aggression. It's so weird. It's such a strange thing to have this in the back of your head, and then and then up front in our lives that continue to carry on. We have to continue. So this morning I'm going with my brother to finish a job that we started. Well, he actually started earlier in the week. We're fixing some stone walls at a neighboring community's pool house. And of course that's on my mind because, well, yesterday I did a lot of bending over and squatting down, and I got, my fingers are all busted up because I was dealing with some wire mesh. You put the wire mesh on the wall, and then you put mud on that, and then you put the bricks on that, and So my fingers are all, I wore gloves, but they were not thick enough to prevent it from getting all eat up. So today we're going to go finish that job up. Hopefully we'll finish it today. There's quite a bit of work left, and it's going to get very hot. My brother's going to pick me up at 7 o'clock, and we're going to hit the road and go the whole 3 miles away from home and try and finish that up today. Very hot right now. I love spending time with my brother. And then in the back of my mind is always, geez, are we going to have World War III? I hope not. And life just keeps on keeping on, even in the midst of all that. We are still looking at survival locally, of doing what we have to do locally, as well as trying to keep track of the world stage. But it's very strange to have these global issues on your mind and the daily grind still going forward. It's very conflicting. It's just strange. It feels like we should be doing something else. We should be doing something more important. Trying to figure out things, and there's nothing we can do as a individual. So, yeah, I don't have anything else this morning. It's very interesting times, unfortunately, so we'll keep on keeping on. It's Sunday. It's the weekend. Meanwhile, all this is burning in the back of my mind. It is the weekend, and I'm working hard this weekend. Once I get done there, I get to cut my grass, finally. It's very strange. It's very strange times. It's very interesting times. And actually keeping your hands busy, finding something to do, like going to another community and working on a wall, that takes concentration and takes your minds off of all the issues. And of course, being with your brother or with family in general, that's kind of what this is all about. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to try and have a really good Sunday. I'm going to get really sore today. I'm going to make all of my muscles sore because I'm going to use all my muscles. And I'm going to try and stay hydrated. It is summertime. I hope that you all stay hydrated as well. And I hope you have a great, great Sunday. And I hope you find peace, love, and dream.